It's January 8th, 2026, and welcome to episode 113 of the Driving Forward podcast. Whether you're joining us live or listening on one of our 18 platforms, including Reese Across America Radio, where we broadcast every Tuesday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Time, we appreciate your support. Coming up, January 22nd from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m., we have another freight movement event here in the Minneapolis area. Every month going forward, this should be coming out. This one's at Fat Pants Brewing in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Once again, Thursday, January 22nd from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Manifest 2026 is February 9th through 11th at the Venetian Resort and Casino. We're expecting 7,000 innovative people this year, including 2,000 shippers, 1,500 startups and investors, 400 speakers, and over 60 countries are being represented. If you'd like to use our discount code and you haven't bought tickets yet, let us know. We'll be seeing there as well. Go to manifest.com/freight movement for a $200 off code. Once again, let us know if you're going to be there. We'd love to get together with you. Freight Movement, along with Venture 53, is throwing the $1 Million Trucker Bar at the 1923 Prohibition Bar on Monday, February 9th, from 7 to 10 p.m. This follows the opening of Manifest. Manifest, that session closes at 7 p.m., and then you can sneak on over to 1923 and hang out with us. We're expecting 300 to 500 people. It's speakeasy vibes, real people, a live DJ, photo booth, VIP entrance for those who get to snag those VIP tickets. A big thanks to Venture 53 as our title sponsor, with Clio and GLCS also sponsoring. There's a few others that are likely to come in as well. Grab your ticket on Eventbrite, which we'll post up on comments here in a second, and follow Freight Movement on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram for updates. Also, you can check us out at freightmovement.com. Additional 2026 events, we have a whole bunch of them. We're queued up for the beginning of the conference season. So once again, we'll be at Manifest. We have the $1 Million Trucker Bar. We have a big crew going to TCA. Following that, I'll be at TMC with Susan Mayo. NTTC, we're still working on exactly who's going to be there, but that'll be our first year at NTTC, as much as we've been attempting to put it on the schedule for many years. Then we're representing at Broker Carrier Summit as well, followed by the ATA mid-year session. So a stacked beginning of the year. Conference season is essentially upon us. I know I see bulk loads is going on right now down in Missouri. I definitely wanted to go to that too, but there's just not enough time to get everywhere. So in a world where convenience is at our fingertips, it's easy to forget the intricate network that brings us everything we need, exactly when we need it. I've said it my whole career. Transportation and logistics is life-changing. Give someone a year in the chair and they'll tell you quick. Either this is their lane or they're already looking for another one. If you make it past that first year, you're usually hooked, because this industry doesn't just pay bills. It builds pride, it builds identity, and it builds community. And that's the part that people miss. There's so many paths in trucking, so many futures that open up when the right opportunity meets the right effort. Those possibilities don't appear out of thin air. They happen because people show up, do the work, and lock arms to keep the supply chain rolling. Today, we're talking about possibilities and the power of a simple choice. A group of leaders decided to create a platform for people who've been boxed out of opportunity. And that platform starts with something most of us take for granted: access to a driver's license. Because one license can create mobility, excuse me. And mobility can create prosperity. It's not the fast road, it's the long haul. And here's a taste of what this discussion is about.
But then days start going by, and I'm like, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. Like, I know I don't want to be here for the rest of my life. I know I don't want to go sell dope, never sell dope. I know I don't want to do that or whatnot. And I'm like, how can I get out? Like college, I can't figure out the college stuff or whatnot. I can't figure it out. How am I gonna get out? And I'm like, that one. Trucking just popped in my head out of nowhere. Like I wasn't watching no videos or nothing. I just, trucking. I can get out through trucking.
So let's bring in our crew for this week, and we'll do some introductions. So welcome to the show, gentlemen. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us.
Man, you bet. Glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Honored to be here.
So, Germany, I know you're riding in the passenger seat. You're a trainer for Covenant, but why don't you tell us where you come from, what you've been doing, a little bit about your background.
Okay, so like I said, my name's Germany. I grew up in inner city Dallas and South Dallas. I lived there basically my whole life until I moved out with my mentor. Ended up moving back when I was 20. Got exposed to some things while I was gone, just more options. And when I got back to the hood, I was like, nah, this ain't it. Like I don't want to be here. Everybody's stagnant. Ain't nobody making moves. And I'm like, I gotta figure out a way to get out of here. And so, like I said, it was just one random day. I was just sitting and thinking. I'm like, hey, I know my mentor told me not to turn my nose up at trucking. Let me see if I can use trucking to get out of here. And so one thing led to another. So.
Absolutely. Appreciate that.
No problem.
Chris, let's go with you next.
Yeah, you bet. Chris Petersen, I'm the president of Rally Fleet Services. We specialize in providing world-class cycle time and quality for repair of body damage for large fleets. We're a dedicated captive capacity model, serving some of the largest fleets in the country. Had an opportunity to get to know the other gentleman you'll introduce here in just a minute. Von Minor and I started working together, volunteering back in the day. He and I helped develop a nonprofit program for after-school athletics, sports mentoring. And that's where I met Germany. So we're teaching these young men how to learn skills on the basketball court that would translate outside of that neighborhood and learn life skills at the same time. And through that time, I developed a relationship with Germany and really began to think about helping him figure out a way to get into trucking. And when I started talking about that, that's when I understood that there was a major limitation in most urban communities. It's when Vaughn and I began to chew into this a little bit and found out that 40% of the urban poor in this country do not have a valid Class C driver's license, a life credential that all of us take for granted, as you mentioned. And so anyhow, so that's how this whole thing kind of got started.
Excellent. Appreciate that. Vaughn, do you want to do a quick introduction as well?
Sure. My name is Von Minor, and I am the president of the South Dallas Driving Academy. And to echo some of Chris's statements, we met each other. Unlike Germany, or very much like Germany, rather, I live and grew up about maybe a half a mile from his neighborhood. So I grew up in the hood, understanding that there's a lot of obstacles that are pervasive in underserved communities. But I had a crazy mom who believed in one thing and one thing only, and it was you're getting an education or you're getting out of here. So She sent me off to a private school, the greatest blessing that she gave me, because it opened my eyes up to other opportunity. And I got my escape out of the inner city impoverished community by virtue of an education and being able to catch a ball and run around a track. So long story short, serving in South Dallas at a nonprofit called Bridge Builders, met this guy, Chris Petersen, and we kept running up against this issue post basketball. Whenever our young men were graduating, why can't they thrive? And then this problem that was so pervasive in our community, we found was pervasive in most urban communities in the United States, where 40% of the urban poor do not have driver's license, but more specifically, in our context, it was more like 60. So this is how the South Dallas Driving Academy got its wings.
No, that's great context. That was going to be my first question, was kind of to abbreviate that on how it came about. So 60% in the South Dallas area do not have a Class C driver's license, just your general license to operate. So I'm gonna more to that. Let's define exactly what South Dallas Driving Academy is and how it's evolved a little bit over time. So that was identified and built. Where did you go? How did that initially start up then? I mean, you got the idea, but how does it gain traction, and where has it gone since then?
Chris, I'm gonna let you speak to that first, and I'll fill in some of the gaps.
I think Germany, if you can come off mute for a second, I want you to tell them what you said to me when I said, "Hey, Germany, listen, you got your driver's license, right?" What was your answer to me when I asked you that question?
No, I don't have my driver's license.
Yeah, and you said nobody had your driver's license. Nobody around you you knew.
Yeah,
your family didn't have it, right?
Connection going out the window. I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Yeah, basically you said mom ain't got a license, dad ain't got a license.
Oh,
So just there was no need, right?
Yeah. But no,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
that's right.
It wasn't a need. Here's what happens in these urban contexts. I don't know where you got your driver's license, but I got mine through driver's ed in public school.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's now been privatized and it's moved out where the money is, and people don't have the discretionary income in these poorer neighborhoods to afford the $400, $500 for a driver's license for a Class C. So they don't get that license, but they do need to drive out of necessity. So they pick up the keys, they drive, they get a ticket, don't pay the ticket becomes a warrant, game over. All right. And so now you got a 16, 17-year-old youngster that might have fines and fees stacking up that we found, Vaughn, some of those numbers, or what are you running up against, Vaughn?
We've had a few instances where young men and women have had warrants, surcharges to the tune of about $7,000 to $8,000. And I'm not being hyperbolic. I mean, $7,000 to $8,000. And I don't care what nonprofit you're running. It's not sustainable to ask donors to pay off tickets. I do have to add this since we're talking about it. One of the program dynamics that we have is a relationship with a local city judge who grew up in South Dallas and shared with us as we were building out this idea of the South Dallas Driving Academy. Hey, listen, if you guys have men and women that have these tickets and these warrants that are City of Dallas fees or citations, bring them to my virtual court. At the time, we're just coming out of post-COVID. Now he says, bring them to my court, and I will eliminate those fees if they're a part of your program. That made this, it put rocket fuel under some of the causes, and then allowed us with a sizable response in respect to, if I didn't have $500 to pay for my driver's license, I'm certainly not going to have $7,000 to pay for ticket and warrants. Right. Now we have legal advocacy in the City of Dallas that allows our participants to be able to jump that hurdle to get to that place of just getting that Class C, that Texas driver's license.
So to answer your question, Nate, if you got another one, I'll pause. If you got
no, go ahead.
Answer your original question. So what happened was I put Germany in the front seat of my car, and I put him through parent-taught driver's education to begin with. He and his brother. Okay. His brother's an E5 in the Navy. Germany's about a 10-year veteran now in trucking. And I told them both, hey, don't turn up your nose at trucking or the Navy or the military. And so anyhow, so I helped them get their license. And then we'd go down to the neighborhood and people going, "You're going to let him drive your car?" I said, "Yeah, he's got his license." And people going, "I didn't get my license till I was 35 years old." And I'm like, "Well, he's 18. He's got a license." And so we started realizing this was more and more pervasive. And then we said, let's formalize this. And so with an idea, I went to Kevin Birch, Elizabeth Barna. They put me in front of Chris Spear. We began talking about this. We're going to do this idea. And I came back to Vaughn. I'm talking to both sides of the aisle going, "Hey, you guys need drivers. Here's a whole pool." Kind of like the fracking industry. You know how we reached these resources that were behind these barriers was through fracking, right? And so you break down the barriers to get to hidden resources. And so I was using that analogy. We have hidden resources in our company or in our country that can't get into our industry because they don't have a Class C. They'll never get into your CDL schools. I know trucking companies that actually put CDL schools in all of the opportunity zone, only to find out that their average guy was coming from 40 miles away.
Sure.
Because those are the guys that had licenses and the guys in the hood didn't. So I'm sure it's spawning more questions. You said you got a thought or should
yeah. No, I mean, to reiterate. So the thing that jumped out so much to me at ATA when we were discussing this is, it's something that if you're a fleet owner, this path creates, not only does it resolve poverty, it can resolve, it can be the answer to so many things: reduce crime, reduce a variety of things. And Germany is kind of the living person that's done this at this point, along with probably many others, which I definitely would like to get into some of the demographics of that. But ultimately, it's something that, as a 30-year veteran of the industry, that I'm kind of ashamed that we didn't get into a long time before this. So it's something I think a lot of us say over. This industry has so many different openings for so many different people, and the first step is you have to get your driver's license generally. So you can't get a Class A unless you can drive a car. So. So you're answering that, but ultimately you can't really get a job. And I'm going to define, just for the listeners, Germany will probably be back. He's on I-40 from North Carolina into Tennessee. And if any drivers that are listening, you know exactly where he's at. So he's having some issues with connections. So, so when did this story so you had the idea, you approached the ATA with it. Now it became something bigger and it's more established. How many people get moved through this on a weekly, monthly basis? Vaughn, can you kind of give a description of how it works?
Yeah, certainly. Our conversation today would not be realized if not for this partnership that we formed with Dallas College. We're talking about this program, and a friend of Chris who was serving at Eastfield College, they had a driving, really what you would determine as an automotive tech program that had roughly 2,200 students that profiled like the students that we were serving in our community. 80% of those students did not have driver's license. So they could never get certification because they too were growing up in an urban context, more so an underserved context. And the driver's license acquisition cost for a kid under the age of 18 in the state of Texas is $500.
Yeah.
What had happened is driving schools had became privatized because they were removed. Driver's education was removed out of the public school systems. So now you had single mothers, fathers, grandmothers raising these kids that were living on government subsidy that just did not have those financial resources to provide this resource. So this relationship that we had with Dallas College, what it did, it added an accelerant to the amount of people that we can serve and what we would ongoing define as a cohort. So we launched our first cohort with Dallas College May of 23 with 25 students. Now, we formed a partnership with a driving school, and thank God they reduced that price that it would cost normally to provide their services to a student. And what this allowed us to do was it allowed us to be able to serve Dallas College while raising the subsidy to provide for these students to get through what we now know as an accelerated driver's license program. It went from 25 to 15 because our partnership with the DPS office, they can only take 15 students at a time. And that's a whole nother story. But what we found was there was always water dripping in this pipeline. So with Dallas College, you have this faucet that was never turning off. And now these kids who otherwise would not be able to be certified now are going through the South Dallas Driving Academy's accelerated driver's license program that would have taken 18 months had we not had this relationship with the DPS office. So now all the hurdles that these students would have to go through was reduced from 18 months to 4 weeks. So now in 4 weeks, men and women, now they're young adults, they're 18 years old, that otherwise would not have experienced this life certificate that your zip code should not determine whether or not you get a driver's license in this country, but it does. Now they're getting their driver's license in 4 weeks. Now they're able to go through certification processes and programs at their local community college and get that certification and then go to work with dignity. So now 15 students each cohort, we're stacking them. So we have served over 200 students over the last 2 years with our accelerated driver's license program, getting them driver's license. So it's just been this amazing process that's accelerated, and we couldn't be any more happy about it. And we're excited about what's going to happen in 2026 as well.
No, appreciate that context. So the accelerated program takes it from 18 months down to
4 weeks.
Yeah.
So Nick, a little
Yeah.
color around that. When you think about your own personal experience with the DMV and DPS and trying to schedule something, right? You can go there, and if you don't have one shred of paper, boom, get to the end of the line, come back in 2 months, whatever. Imagine having 25 students that you're trying to manage those personal appointments with every one of those folks. And so at an industry event, we were able to meet with one of the sergeants over the DPS, explained our problem. Within a week, we had a program set up where we can literally type out a list of 15 students that'll be there next Friday. We walk in the door and they have us all our little window tickets. Go over and sit in the lobby right here. We'll be serving you. And they'll go, oh, hey, Mrs. Jones, I need this document. Could you email that to me? Boy, if I did that, you're out, buddy.
Right. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful thing. And so now we go through there in an hour, permit, come back 4 weeks later, license, because we've done all the other stuff in that time. So just to be able to accelerate it. Now you take these folks from the community and they get to go and plug into a Dallas College cohort, or maybe a Lone Star Justice Alliance cohort, or all the others that we know them through our crossover athletics and through our after school programs. And we go, you can't create enough momentum in some of these neighborhoods with that group. So now we have these partnerships, and Vaughn has done an excellent job creating multiple partnerships where we have multiple cohorts going on, and we can drop these individuals into those vortex that will get them accelerated through in a short period of time.
No, that's great. So opening that and giving the keys literally to all those people. I mean, that's probably the more, the merrier, the faster, the better. It's an answer to many questions for them. I want to flip, since it looks like we have a stable connection with Germany. So Germany, are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So I've got a bunch of questions, but I want to start this off with our second clip of you talking about people when you first started to go into trucking. So you went through this program at SDDA or what became SDDA, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So then after that, we heard at the first clip, you're trying to figure out how to fix some problems in your life and not do some things that you didn't want to do. Mm-hmm. And so you started considering trucking. And let's just play this clip at first, and then I'll ask some questions along the line with it. So clip number 2, if we can.
you had guys kind of laughing at you when you went into this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Space.
Oh man, my partners, they made rap songs about me and all
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we made a song.
I want to hear that song.
It was terrible, but man, they said like they were big truck driver. They had all type of names and stuff like that. But after a while, I started coming home and the financial freedom I had, they started noticing. I'm like, wait a minute, like maybe I want to do this too.
So I love that clip. So Jeremy, if you can maybe walk us through the early days, either from the transition of you getting your original license, or then after you got your CDL. Kind of take us through that part of your life a little bit, if you can.
Okay. Well, like I said, like I went from working in a warehouse to getting my CDL, and so the money gap from those two things is major. And one of my best friends, he was also at that warehouse with me, so he was able to witness the whole jump. And he was one of the main ones, like making fun of me and cracking jokes and making rap songs and all this, like. And but we went on a trip to South Padre Island for like this was our first time getting together and taking a trip as adults. We all 21, and we like let's go do something. Let's go do something. And so I came home, and the first thing I tried to do, I tried to go buy a car at a dealership, but they wanted the whole amount down. No, like straight cash. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. And so there was another car that I had that opportunity to buy, but I couldn't get home because I was over the road so much. And so, but Chris ended up buying it, and he had it for a while. And so when I told him my dilemma of what was going on, he was like, you could buy the Jeep. I said, oh, I can? He's like, yeah. So I went ahead and paid him, bought the Jeep. I paid for the Airbnb for us to go. I paid for the gas. I didn't ask them for anything. It was like how many? I think it was like 6 or 7 went on that trip. And at the end of the trip, we were all sitting at IHOP and stuff like that, and they had a long wait. And so it was a mall right next to the IHOP. So I walked over to the mall, and they had some Beat headphones in there, and I bought them. Mind you, this was after a week on vacation of us, after buying a car, after paying for all the gas, after buying food, after all these things. And I buy these headphones, and I go and sit down at the restaurant, start opening them up. And one of my friends was like, you just bought those? I said, yeah. Just now? I'm like, yeah. After all this? I said, yeah. He was like, what? So that's when they start oh, wait a minute, like it may be something into this. It may be something. And so they started asking more questions and getting more curious, and eventually started getting their CDLs as well. And so it was within, I say 6 months to a year of me having my CDL, it started also turning some of my best friends' heads of like, wait a minute, there's something to this. Because nobody in our neighborhood really drove trucks and did anything different. Everybody was doing the same thing, working at warehouse, working at Walmart, like everybody are selling drugs. And so everybody just did the same things and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can't, like, I can't be at a warehouse my whole life. I can't be at Walmart for 15, 20 years. Like, that's not, I don't even want to be here. That's the thing. Like, so I'm like, I gotta get away. How can I get away and be like, and like have some freedom? That's what I wanted, more freedom. After being able to witness it for 2 years and seeing new things, I'm like, I want to continue that. How can I continue that? And so it's been that's been. Hopefully, I answered your question. But yeah, that's that's been the journey. So
yeah, the journey is amazing. So I love the journey. We're gonna take a real quick short break. come back after about a minute and a half. If you have any questions for Germany, Chris, or Vaughn, queue them up, send them in. We'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we'll be back in about a minute and a half.
If your fleet's downtime looks like chaos, you're missing out on GLCS. In the time-critical world of trucking and logistics, every minute counts. Meet GLCS, your expert partner in managed IT and technology services. We integrate seamlessly with your team, bringing seasoned IT professionals with deep trucking and logistics expertise. Imagine your software updates running smoothly, complex issues resolved quickly, and operations humming with efficiency. GLCS has your back. Our support doesn't just fix problems, it prevents them with our industry connections and proactive approach. We keep your trucks rolling and your brokers working. Think of us as the added resource your company needs to unleash its full potential. Visit glcs.net today and keep your business driving forward. GLCS, where efficiency meets expertise.
And we are back. So Germany, another quick follow-up question to what you said, what you just went through is when you first got your Class A or the experience of getting your Class A, what was something that surprised you that kind of was something you weren't expecting when you came across it? Anything in particular?
I was surprised on how quick I grasped it, on how quick, like, sitting in the classroom trying to get it, I struggled. I always struggled in school and stuff like that. But once we got out there and got into the trucks and did backing maneuvers and did S maneuvers and got on the road, like how quickly I adapted to the instructions and the like the work of it. That surprised me. And so like, and then once I got into, like, when I went out and got in training with my trainer and stuff, like my first day, like, I did 7 hours. And so next day I did 10,
Yeah.
all the way until I was done. And so, like I, like grasped the understanding of trucking quicker than I thought I would. And so, that was the biggest surprise. And the next surprise was like getting to experience the things that I grew up watching on TV. And like I remember my first load to New Jersey, I didn't realize how close it was to New York City. And I come around the corner, come around the mountain, and the city just hit me. I was like, oh snap, like what's that? Like, is that New York City? And it just blew me away. I'm like, bro, I grew up watching movie after movie about New York City, and I'm looking at it now. And so like I got the chance to like sit there because my load didn't deliver to the next day. And so I'm like, okay, let me try to figure out how to ride this subway and so, to get to Manhattan. And so I grabbed my skateboard, caught an Uber to the subway, and got landed in Manhattan, was skateboard down Manhattan. And so I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, just a couple months ago, I was skateboarding in the hood, just trying to go cash my checks. Now I'm skateboarding in New York City. Like, this is crazy. This is mind blowing. And so those was the biggest like shocks that I've had when I first started getting into it. So, yeah.
No, I appreciate that. And I think you have a bit more of extreme, but I have similar stories when I first started driving. My understanding that what you're looking at is the Purple Mountain Majesties, the things that you don't think of, when the mountains turn purple out in the West Coast, the amber waves of grain and the cities and and the lakes and the ocean. Things that I grew up in Minnesota, so they're there wasn't nice weather, except for the summertime, I suppose. But I didn't get chances to see a lot of those things either until I got into the industry. So
all 3
I
weeks,
can appreciate
all 3 weeks of summer. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, which we're certainly not in that right now. So gentlemen, now SDDA is primarily a Class C program, or does it also work with Class A then too?
That's a
Vaughn, you
great
wanna take that?
segue.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great segue. One of the things that we learned quickly was I'm from the hood, and my route out of the hood was education, but that's not everybody's route out of the hood. And the realities were there were far too many people that lived in underserved communities, frankly, that looked like me, that was stuck in this insidious condition of poverty. It was, how can we now take this life certificate, this driver's license, and leverage it into a place of living wage career opportunity? And I believe that our industry, the trucking industry, is the most beautiful industry because it allows those opportunities. So it was Chris and I's job to now figure out, how do we bring this to reality? And we were able, through an incredible gift through the NBA Foundation, to be able to launch our commercial driver's license program. It was in June of 24 with 5 men, and partnerships with the city of Dallas and with PepsiCo and with Costco's. We were able to launch that program. But Chris will tell you as loudly as I will.
Trucking Cares Foundation.
Trucking Cares Foundation, Covenant Trucking. Our opportunity is not just the CDL. Our success measurement is only as good as the career opportunities that exist at the end of this path. We want to see generational poverty abolished into perpetuity. Germany is an example of that. His family will never know what he grew up under. My family will never know what I grew up under. And the trucking industry allows that opportunity. So now we have a 10-week commercial driver's license program, which we're so passionate behind because that is our workforce program. 10 weeks. After that 10-week program, really it's 11 weeks. We have a formal graduation. We have our employment partners. None of this gets off the ground without the American Trucking Association and the Trucking Cares Foundation. And now our men and women who otherwise would not have known these career opportunities because they've been hidden traditionally in caves of poverty. Now they get the dignity to be able to work, because this industry is not for everybody, but for those who want to put in that labor and that sweat equity to get involved in this incredible industry, they get to experience something like Germany has been describing. And we couldn't be more proud and just exhilarated to see men and women now graduating from our commercial driver's license program and experiencing the dignity of work and a living wage career opportunity in this country.
That's a great answer. I appreciate that. You always check off several of my questions that I have when I want to ask a question. So when you look at students coming through SDDA, what patterns? I mean, we talked about some of the patterns, but what patterns do you typically see? And do you actually follow up with them after? And I mean, it sounds like you likely do help carry them past that. But what patterns do you see? What do they need most? What's the skills and belief structure? Anything like that? Demographics around the students.
CP, I'll let you touch on that.
Well, I think we started with the Class C, as to eliminate that one significant systemic barrier that was difficult to overcome. And then we're looking for somebody that possesses kind of the makeup of somebody that could make it in trucking, right? Is there a strong work ethic? Is there a strong integrity that's there? Because we want to take those types of people to our employment partners and know that they're going to be able to make it in that context. And so when we started with Germany, because of my relationship in the trucking space, I knew some of the guys over at KLLM. They had a driving school. Germany says, hey, I want to get into trucking. And I said, okay, you're going to watch these videos. If you don't watch these videos, you're not serious about it. So I didn't want to put my name on it until I knew he was really serious about going over to to do that. We do the same types of things, only at a higher level now. We're doing qualifiers along the way. They're doing some preliminary, text dot sort of evaluation. Hey, you're going to finish this up. I'm not putting you into class and paying X, $1,000 to get you through this school if you're not going to do those things. So we're putting those gates and measures, into play before we send them off to our school and then before they go on to our employment partners.
Perfect. So Germany, if you can you hear me still? We might have lost. Oh, are you coming?
Yeah, I got you. I can hear you.
All right, perfect. So you eventually went through your driving school. You've been driving now for, I heard, about 10 years. Is that
I
accurate?
just crossed 9
That's right.
9.
like a day ago, 2 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah, October.
Congratulations on 9. So does that mean you're flirting with $1 million, or have you gone over $1 million?
Honestly, I'm getting close. I'm close because I did like a year and a half of over the road when I first started, and then I went local for the next 3-4 years. And so you don't get as many miles, but you still get the experience. Right. And so, but then after that, I went back over the road and back regional. So I should be about 600,000-700,000 somewhere.
Yeah, but right now, as a trainer, you don't get to log all those hours. Do you get to log those as drive time?
Yeah, I do. I get paid for them.
Okay, there you go. That is all that counts, right?
Let's go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're rolling down the road, so you're responsible for that truck. So they count for me, if you ask me. So, now you've driven tanker. You're now a trainer at Covenant. So I assume you're running a dry van, or what is that primarily what you're doing at Covenant now, is dry van trainer?
Yes, majority of the time is dry van. We get some reefers from Walmart, but most of the time it is dry van. So
okay. So now you had said you alluded to the South Padre trip, but you've been on a number of other trips too, correct? Or am I wrong?
Oh, no,
you've gone out and seen the world.
Oh yeah. Last summer I went to Fiji. The summer before that I went to Guatemala. I've been to the DR twice on mission trips. I've been to England and Scotland on mission trips. Is that it? I think that's it for now. And
that's enough. We don't want to hear any more of your travel schedule.
I don't know about enough, but it's a good start, man. A good start. So
I'm not hating. I'm just saying I don't want to hear any more of your. I went to Fiji and
we got to line something up.
Humbly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank God for the trucking industry. We love your ATA and Trucking Cares Foundation for this guy.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful that you're out there doing things that you didn't think you'd ever be able to do, and able to see things you never were able to see, both domestically and getting outside of that too. So I mean, you've been to places that most people don't go to. Yeah. So which that's amazing in and of itself. So that's something also that this industry can do, is if you manage your money right and you do the right thing. I mean, it's a good career. No matter where you're at in this industry, it can be a good career, and it can offer a lot of opportunity to you. So I started, I mean, to give you a little bit, I did go to college, and then about my senior year, I said, I need to not do this. And I jumped in a truck. And so I ended up roaming around the country for a little while, and eventually kind of the industry swallowed me up. So I have that respect for it. On 30 years later, I'm here. I'm working with all kinds of different companies, and never would have thought that. Yeah, you always reflect back and you go, "Wow, this has been a journey." So I'm interested in where Germany's at in 20 years. So
yeah,
that'll be an interesting story. So,
hey Nate, quick comment on Germany's trip to Fiji. When Germany got home from Fiji, his brother Travis said, "Hey, I need to talk to you about that trucking."
Well, easy to do that, I imagine.
And hey,
Travis,
Chris, where's Germany? Where's Travis now?
yeah, Germany will tell you.
Oh, Travis.
Where's Travis now?
He worked for Covenant.
Germany.
Right now,
Where's Travis?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right now he's in Illinois right now, working for Covenant. And so he just called me earlier, trying to get some instructions on how to slide the tandems.
But that's his older brother. So he didn't want to follow little brother for quite a while, but now, and Travis has just crushed it. He's just everything he did. He just checked all the boxes, and he's just been a consummate pro. So it's really great to see it. And that's not the only person that's followed Germany into this trucking space. So I know you had asked about that a little earlier, but there's a number of guys that are working either for Frito-Lay, or they're working for Covenant, or they're working for, aggregate haulers and various people around the community. One guy's working for CFI, another guy's working for PFG. We have probably about a dozen guys out of our 30 grads that are out there, earning and turning.
And Nate,
So what?
Nate, I'm so sorry. I would be irresponsible if I didn't make reference to the fact that Travis went through the South Dallas Driving Academy's programs. He got his Class C driver's license first, Texas driver's license, and then he went through our commercial driver's license program, valedictorian. If we had a valedictorian, he was that guy. And now to see him in the trucking industry alongside his brother, again, ending that place of generational poverty. We're so excited to see a lot of men and women in our communities now that are working hard and being a part of this beautiful industry.
So
I want to try to get over
if we jump forward a few years, what does the South Dallas Driving Academy look like, and what's your goals over the next 3 to 5 years?
Wow, we have some pretty audacious goals. I've made the statement that wherever there's a hood, a hamlet, or a holler in this country, there should be a South Dallas Driving Academy in those areas, providing the same opportunities for those, regardless of hue, but the condition of poverty, being able to receive the same opportunities that the Lord has so graciously allowed us to present to those that we serve in our community. And we can't wait to scale this operation nationally, and that's on deck. In fact, that's part of our 2026, 2027 goal to see another, what we call a holding nonprofit formed, and seeing a lot of driving schools launched across this country under the banner of a certain name I can't get into now because it's not official, but it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Chris, want to add to that?
No, that's great. The only thing I could do is start revealing things we're not ready to launch yet. But yes,
yeah, that's exactly right.
There's a rebrand coming that's less place specific, because we've looked at this and went, you know what, this is portable. We know the model. We can put the playbook together. We can build the coalition in these markets. The company that I work with, I'm in 6 different markets. I'm looking at 2 of those right now. Atlanta and Dayton are ones we have obvious relationships and connections in. Washington, D.C. We have people in Massachusetts and New York that are all saying, hey, how do we get this going here? So we're looking at that. And but that's part of a 2026 initiative, is to get that to a place where we can really launch it.
Perfect.
I can't stop smiling because we're so excited about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely got to be a positive experience for you, just being able to open the doors, but then to factor that multiple times will be absolutely amazing. And it creates more partners. And a lot of us have said recently that, in this particular industry, you do kind of move forward through partnership. So, and there's a lot more partners regionally as you build out. So there's a lot of possibilities there. I'd like to take a quick moment and run the 3rd clip of Germany and I do want to call out Nothing Without Trucking. They did the video production. That's a initiative that's driven by the American Trucking Association. So all this video, and it is on YouTube. There's actually 3 drivers that are represented in the total video, which is about 15 minutes long. Maybe we'll be able to, we'll drop that link to the larger video on the comments of this podcast. But let's run that clip number 3 right now.
But now it's almost like we best friends with the boy. Like I talk to him just as much as I talk to my best friends and stuff like that. So, oh, want to pull it? So, yeah, and then my little city horn. But yeah. So, but that's also part of the pre-trip, making sure your horns and stuff work, making sure you got the things in your truck equipped for people to see you and hear you. For sure, like when you get kids riding next to you or whatnot, they always, and that get me like excited or whatnot, because I did that as a kid, walking to school and stuff like that. So all those memories pop up in my head when I get the chance to blow my horn for the kids and stuff like that. That's always a joy.
So I wanted to cap it off with that and then talk the kind of final question we'll roll through is if anyone out there wants to help out, if anybody wants to invest in people, but if they want to help out, then what are some avenues for them to help out with SDDA as it exists today?
PV? Okay. Yeah. So I think there's multiple. When we think about this industry from the trucking side, the trucking industry, as Vaughn said earlier, we've got a track, we've got a pipeline, and we're putting people through that pipeline. What we need is more employment partners on the regional, local, and national level, that because guys, different life needs or whatever, can kind of dictate what they fit best in. So guys that are in need of CDL drivers, guys that we have vetted, guys that we trust as good quality individuals that could do things. Some of them might have a little bit of a past, but we know that where they're at now, where they're headed, where their trajectory is really strong. So we certainly can use some pathway partners, more pathway partners there. And then you mentioned investing. I will tell you, the first time we presented this at ATA's mid-year, Andrew Boyle, before he became chairman of the ATA, walked up to the mic, and he had a kind of a mic drop moment. And he said, "This is the best blank presentation I've seen in 30 years. And there's a lot of people that are watching this that probably will remember that moment. I certainly will never forget it, because what he did was he elevated the conversation on this. He says, there is a need on both sides. And when we sit here and we talk to people, there's nobody that doesn't go, wow, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, we have such a need over here in these communities for a meaningful professional living wage. And we have such a need over here in our industry for technicians and drivers and others that wouldn't be able to get there if they didn't have a Class C driver's license. And then, of course, you'll never get a Class A if you don't have the Class C. So that piece has just made so much sense to so many. So if you are a foundation, if you know a foundation that believes in equity and workforce development, this play is getting a lot of traction in that regard. But we certainly could use more support in order to scale it. We think this problem exists all over the country, and we're scratching the surface here.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And Nate, I do want to add to that.
Go ahead. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
I'm sorry. I wanted to add
go ahead, Vaughn.
Vaughn's got a little lag here. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Go ahead, Vaughn.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I wanted to add to that this isn't a feel-good story. This is a workforce story that feels good. This is about men and women having the opportunity to make a living wage to care for their families. And if it's an employment partner that's out there that's like, you know what, we would love to get involved in this mission, because it really is this movement. We would love to be able to have more employment partners, because I started by saying we're only as good as the employment opportunities we have on the backside of our workforce program. And then the obvious is the obvious. Every nonprofit needs funding. If there's a foundation, if there's a person that's listening out there that's made an incredible amount of of financial resources over the life of their career, looking for someone to or a nonprofit to provide some helpful resources to financially, please, we need the benefit of that as well as we continue to grow out and as we continue to expand this mission on a national scale.
Yeah, on our side, I have every intention of blowing this up as much as we can. So we have not, I mean,
Thank you.
we're a little podcast, but we have lots of
Thank you.
friends that have big podcasts. So we'll, and you know, media hosts and whatnot. So I think you guys have, as you said, it's not necessarily a feel good story, but it's, how did you put that, Vaughn? Say it one more time. It's not a feel, or
It's a workforce story that feels good.
that feels good. Yeah, I like how that's put together. So, so gentlemen, we're coming up to the end of our time. I feel like we could have sat here forever. Germany, I could talk with you for hours upon hours. So somewhere down the road, I might call back on you when we get a couple drivers on. So I think if you're open to that.
Oh yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd love to be able to do that sometime down the road. And as far as SDDA goes, we'll see what we can do to get the message out in a stronger, bigger, faster way. This is something that I think people can get behind. Absolutely. So with that, just sign off with your social media connections, any way to get a hold of you, any way that you want to be reached out to. So Vaughn, how can people find you?
They can find us on our website at sddrivingacademy.org, SD, South Dallas Driving Academy.org. And they can follow us on our social media. We have a South Dallas LinkedIn. It's South Dallas, same thing, SD Driving Academy, /LinkedIn, and also on our Instagram at South Dallas Driving Academy.
Chris, how about yourself?
Yeah, we are for my company. You mean for Rally Fleet?
For either or, you personally, your company, if you don't want to say anything,
Oh yeah, no.
that's fine too.
So we are rallyfleet.com, Rally Fleet Services. I'd love to talk to anybody, any of your listeners that have need in the body damage repair space. But rallyfleet.com, and then I'm available on LinkedIn as well. I think I don't even know my handle on that. What is that?
It's Chris Petersen. So you're probably good there. Yeah. So
It's the Danish.
Yeah,
It's the
Vaughn.
Danish spelling.
Hey,
That's
Von
it.
Minor on LinkedIn. Just
Yeah.
unabashed plug right there.
fair enough. Fair
That's
enough.
it.
Germany, how can people find you if they want to find you? Or
They can come to Covenant and get trained by me. That's what they can
That's
do.
right.
fair enough. Fair enough.
There it is.
We'll
He's
Send
on
them your
LinkedIn.
way, Germany.
Come on with it. Come on with it. So
He's on
Yeah.
LinkedIn too.
Fair enough.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Germany Williams on LinkedIn, and certainly Covenant's a partner of ours too. So love the story and love that you're driving for them and promoting them as well. So gentlemen, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much for coming on today. Love the story and hope to stay in contact with you and continue to monitor it and see how it all grows from here.
Man, Nate,
Thank you so
for
much,
having us
Nate.
on.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
All right. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. So we spend a lot of time in this industry talking about freight or about rates, about equipment, about technology, and all of that matters, but none of it matters more than people. Behind every delivery is a human being trying to build a life, trying to create stability, trying to find that path forward. And sometimes the difference between stuck and moving is just one opportunity, one door, and one chance to get started. If you connected with this today, that's great. That's what we wanted. That means that you're paying attention. It means you understand this isn't charity, it's workforce, it's leadership, and it's the long haul. So here's your action. Find a way to invest in people, mentor someone, sponsor training, open your network, advocate for access, or simply challenge the mindset that talent is the issue when access is the real barrier. So I'll say that once again. Challenge the mindset that talent is the issue when access is the real barrier. The future of trucking isn't just built with trucks, it's built with pathways. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Until next time, drive forward with purpose and innovation. Thanks for watching.